reason I got off of dating apps was because these men had me messed up. These men had me messed up. Like, it just, the audacity, the unmitigated gall, the buffoonery. Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where being single is a beautiful choice rather than a miserable circumstance. And, oh yes, I I can't believe that it's been a year since I've been on a dating app. Like, it's wild to me. I'm just getting right into it. I'm coming in hot. I really was sitting up on New Year's Day like, yo, you've legit not been on a dating app in a year. That is wild. That is crazy. Wow. Okay, well, let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, the reason I got off of dating apps was because these men had me messed up. These men had me messed up. Like, it just, the audacity, the unmitigated gall, the buffoonery. I just, and again, I always say this. I'm not saying dating apps isn't for some people, because I personally know people who have met their fiancés, their spouses, on dating apps. But for some reason, when it came to me, these men had me messed up. I'm talking messed up. Like, I done already told y'all in the story time about the dude who wouldn't tell me his last name. I feel like he was trying to human traffic me. That's just my belief. He could have just been hiding a wife and kids. But in my opinion, he was trying to human traffic me. He was trying to lure me to his city by myself where I couldn't tell nobody about his human trafficking. But that's just my belief. Then there was the other guy who tried to celibacy shame me when he literally went on a 1-hour rant telling me why I shouldn't be celibate. And I'm pretty sure the reason was because he wanted me to have sex with him. Because he literally came out of his stupid slut lips. I call them slut lips because if you're trying to celibacy shame me, that means you're a slut. And argue with your mama. I don't have time. But gonna try to tell me, oh my God, I knew it was too good to be true because you have everything but you're celibate. That's crazy. What? Are you mad? Are you mad? Then, what's another one? I have several, but I guess I can't remember because I've been off for a year. But these are the things that made me get up off. Or the guys who literally will text you every single day and tell you all the great, wonderful places they're going to just to not invite you to said places. What are you talking to me for? What are you doing? I'm sorry. I don't see how y'all do it. I don't see how y'all out here having these text relationships. My homegirl calls it a textuationship with these men who just want to sit up and waste your unlimited text messages and just not even try to include you in their plans. Like, listen, I know you're intent with me by how eager you are to see me and meet me in person. Because if you have intentionality, I don't care what y'all say. If a man has an intent to actually get to know you, he's going to want to be in your presence. He's going to invite you on a date. And that's going to be within the first week of y'all conversation. I don't care about none of that. I'm telling y'all the truth. If a guy, unless he's super busy working on a work project, unless he's out of town, and even then, he's still going to make a way. Unless he is sick on some type, like he in COVID, he's still going to be like, listen, I can't see you this week because I have this on my calendar, this on my calendar. But listen, on January the 22nd at 3 p.m., I'm trying to come see you. He's going to be intentional. Y'all got to stop listening to these dudes who be having these, just texting you all day, not including. I'm not doing it. I don't never do that. Like, being on them dating apps, I can remember on a few occasions literally where dudes would literally be texting me about just nothing, just wasting my time, because I already told y'all before, I have male friends and they will tell you that sometimes men be on these dating apps because they're bored. They literally be bored. Number one, they be bored. And you know they're bored because they just be texting you about nothingness to pass time. Because they're like, okay, I can go play basketball or I can go text Ashley to pass time. And that's what they be doing. And you can tell that's what they be doing when they have no intent on trying to meet up with you, trying to see you. They just ask you, what you doing? These what you doing bandits. These dudes who just, oh, how's your day? What you doing today? Oh, where do you think I should go? You like my outfit? Oh, I'm going out. And they ain't never trying to ask. They bored. They bored. I'm sorry that I sound aggressive because they be pissing me off. Number two, they're passing time until their ex start acting right because they have an on and off girlfriend. Kind of like that story that's going viral on TikTok about the homegirl who came in and his ex was in the lobby and he went up with her and left the girl in the apartment for 40 minutes to go tell the ex that she ain't nothing. Go find it on TikTok. But these dudes be on and off with their girlfriend and they have an inability to be alone, so they'll hop on a day nap to pass time because they can't just sit in sadness, so they'll go and pass time and use you as a in-between girl just until they get their ex back, and then they'll ghost you. I've dealt with that before a long time ago, like when day naps first came out. I remember this dude who was heavy on me, y'all. I'm talking heavy. This man pursuing me. He picking me up from drunk nights. Back in the day, this was before Christ. Y'all don't judge me. This is when I was 22, 23, 24. You know, he picking me up from the club when I'm drinking. He texting me every day. This went on for 2 weeks. Then literally nothing. Then I found out this man blocked me, y'all. He blocked me. Now, knew me now, if a man blocked me, okay, cool. That means you don't want to talk to me. I don't care no more. It's fine. But then I'm like, no, I need some straightening. I need some answers. So I went and found that man on Facebook. And I went and found him on Facebook. And I reached out to him and he told me the truth. He's like, I'm going to just be keeping it a buck with you. I had broken up with my girlfriend. You was cool at the time. We back together now. All right, bet. That's number two. So I said they be bored. 2, they passing time in between relationships. And 3, they low effort men. They don't want to work at nothing. They just want something to pass time. They just want something to do. They want to get their ego stroked. They want to get their genitals stroked. And they can do this by, they don't want to have to work that hard. They're non-committal. They don't want nothing serious. They just want a whole bunch of access to a whole bunch of different women at one time without having to put in a whole bunch of effort. And that's just what I'm not going to get with. I've been watching Ready to Love Make a Move. I don't know if y'all watch Ready to Love, but I don't have cable, but OWN is connected to HBO Max, and they just dropped the whole season, and I've been binge watching it because I've been waiting on it to get on HBO Max because I wanted to see what was going on because I saw a lot of people talking about it on YouTube. So I said, I want to check this out. So I ain't trying to spoil nothing for y'all, but Zadia's on there, and she's dating this guy, and the guy looked like Shaquille Sunflower. If you are a Martin fan, you know who Shaquille Sunflower is. This is the man. Shaquille Sunflower is when Martin lost his job at the radio station because the owner was cheap and it got bought out. And he went away and he left everybody, broke off his engagement with Gina, and he went to this cult. And when you come back, you see Martin with like half of his hair is in twists and half is in an afro. And his name is Shaquille Sunflower. So this guy looked like Shaquille Sunflower, and he is stringing my good sis Zadia along. And you can tell because like he literally shows up to everything. He shows up to her birthday, to all the dates and stuff like that. But when they have conversations, he says stuff like, oh yeah, I'm just too busy. I show up for you, but I don't want anything more. Like, he'll say stuff like that. But it's confusing to her because she's in it. And one, I really believe she had sex with him. So that's where she really messed up. Two, he's showing up, and then the world tells you this false thing that says actions speak louder than words. Always believe a man's actions. But I'm about to tell y'all something. I'm about to keep it real with y'all. It don't matter if he's showing up if his words don't align. If a man is not even a man, if people, period, are telling you one thing and doing another, it's still a red flag. Even if their actions are telling you one thing. So if their actions are, they're showing up all the time, they're there for your birthday, but then they're telling you, oh, I don't want a relationship, I don't want nothing serious. Baby, believe them words. Believe the confusion. Because someone who's really there for you and intentional and they want something serious with you, they're not going to confuse you. Point blank in the period. Y'all got to stop with this whole, his actions are more important. No, both need to line up. They both need to line up, because if both don't line up, guess what? That means that there is deception. That means he is deceiving you. That means there's some type of manipulation tactic going on, and you need to think that's a red flag, and you need to get on up out of there. I'm just saying, okay? So these men be out here wasting time, and that's all it. So I know I just went on this whole rant, but I want y'all to understand why I got up off of the dating apps. So what have I learned? First thing I learned is it's people outside. People be outside. You can meet people outside. I went on more dates last year than I've been on in years. And it was because I was outside. And I had some good dates, like some really good dates. And it was because I met these people outside. I had some very unexpected dates as well, some spontaneous dates, and it was because I was outside. And I was battling with this belief before last year that if I get off dating apps, I'm not going to have no dates. I'm not going to be able to meet nobody because everybody's online. And understand this, for me, the hardest part is I don't have a personal social media account besides Facebook. And on Facebook, you're not really becoming friends with people that you don't know, because Facebook is so this is your actual circle. Most likely you know everybody on your friend list, even if you cross paths with them only once. But I don't have a personal Instagram. I don't have a personal TikTok. My only accounts are business accounts, which is Single Woman Chronicles, and I do hair, and my hair page. That's it. So I already have that struggle there because I don't have nobody who's just going to slide in my DMs because I don't have a personal page. So I'm out here man, I'm not going to date nobody, ain't going to meet nobody. Lies, lies, lies. Because I was outside and I was meeting some people. So that's one thing I learned. People be outside and people are still, approaching and talking to, it's not a very direct approach like it used to be. It's not like some, who you attracting with that line. What's your name? What's your sign? It's not like that. But people will come up to you. They'll start a conversation with you. And then if that conversation vibes, that's what I noticed about men and their newer approach. They're going to start a conversation with you off of something, and you don't know if they're interested or not, because sometimes they are, sometimes they're just starting a conversation, but it all seems the same. It's a very chill approach. And then if they are interested at the end of said conversation, they're going to be like, oh, can I get your number? Oh, can we see each other sometimes? Oh, can we exchange X, Y, and Z? So that's what I've noticed. So those are two things I learned. One, people are outside. Two, the approach of men is different these days. It's not very blunt and direct like it used to be. But I think that's because of the whole women out here making it hard, because they're like, oh, I don't like when men approach and they thirsty and it's making it hard. Okay. The second thing I learned was you have to show up you have to show up in all environments in a confident manner. You have to be very sure and very comfortable and very confident in who you are. I say that because I was battling some insecurities last year, and some old mindsets. Let me tell you something. Thinking in new ways is a forever, everyday struggle. It's a for uprooting old mindsets. It's a forever everyday struggle. So if you guys know me, you know I used to get bullied back in the day. And I dealt with a season in life where I felt very insecure about myself. I just felt like men only wanted me for sex, like all of these things. So even now, the girl who hasn't had sex in forever because I'm celibate, the girl who is very confident, very sure of myself, I still have moments where those old ways of thinking creep back in. So there were environments I was in last year where there was thoughts of, oh, this guy can't be interested in me because he looks like the type of guy who would date a girl who looks like this, not like me. And I was absolutely wrong because these men were approaching me. These men were asking me on dates. So what that made me understand is I just need to show up confident and sure of myself and just let it be what it is. I went out with two guys in particular in my mind. Some of the finest. I'm talking like zaddy-ish. I'm talking like they walk in a room, everybody looking type guys. And I was shocked by their interest in me. And I don't know why, because your girl is cute, your girl is thick, your girl got it going on. And I know that. But I think social media has a lot to do with that belief we have in ourselves, because social media always tells you, oh, men want this and you too old and you this and that, and it's just like, it just makes you sometimes question your attractiveness, because you'll start to think, oh, because I don't look like this chick with this 12-inch waist and 40-inch booty, that I'm not desirable, and it's a lie. So I would say I learned that I am beautiful in every single way. Thank you, Christina Aguilera, because it's real. And all I have to do is just show up and be confident in that. And I'm going to attract even more people. So, because just imagine me low-key about to self-sabotage situations because I think I'm not cute enough just for these men to approach me and ask me on dates. Like the one in particular, there's one that I'm thinking about. Like first of all, I was at a day party, and we needed a seat. We were looking for somewhere to sit, and he was by himself, and my homegirl was like, go ask him. And I'm like, I don't want to ask him. She's like, I said, you go ask him. And she's like, no, I'm gonna go, you, whatever. So eventually I went to ask him, and I was so nervous because he was just so attractive, and I'm just like, I don't want this guy to like diss me or whatever. But he was super cool, super nice. So we went over there. My girls started coming in. Like, it was his people started coming in. We were just vibing. It was a whole thing. But I didn't think he was looking at me. So like I went off and I was talking to other guys and stuff like that. And I noticed like he was looking across the room, looking like for me and stuff. It was just weird. So then I'm usually the friend that leaves first. So I was about to head out, and then he stopped me. He was like, oh, well, let me get your number. Like, I'd love to see you before I leave to go out of town. And so I'm shook because I'm like, you want me? Like, it's weird. Like, what? So just imagine if I would have been confident. I wouldn't have left the table. I wouldn't be talking to other dudes. I would have been all up and through his face. Like, I would have been like on a better vibe. But we ended up going out the next day, but he never hit me up. But that's neither here nor there. I'll get to that next lesson. But in the next lesson, but like, just show up confident and knowing that you're beautiful and engage in conversations. Like, it's okay to walk up to a guy and be like, oh, that's a nice jacket. That's not being thirsty. That's just starting a conversation. If he's attractive and he got a nice jacket on, then start the conversation. You never know what could happen. It could be a connect. It could be a friendship. It could be a business partnership. You just never know. So we got to polish our social skills, because I feel like we lack social skills now just due to social media. So that's one thing. The other thing I learned is take everything with a grain of salt. Just take it with a grain of salt, because I believe that when these people, because it's so rare when you go out, it's seemingly rare because it's not rare. Because it's seemingly rare that when you go out, you're going to meet someone. When you actually do meet someone, you probably have a tendency to get like really excited about it and think this is like going somewhere, but sometimes it's not. So, because you just never know people's intentions. So just live in the moment, take it for what it is. If it becomes something, it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. So take it with a grain of salt. Like, just take it with a grain of salt, and like, don't be in your head about it. There was one situation where this guy was beautiful. I'm talking like very beautiful. I'm talking like very, very, very attractive. I'm saying like when God was making him, you see, I'm smiling. When God was making him, he spent a little extra on the fine, the swag, like everything was just, ooh, he's beautiful. So when we talked, our vibe was just unmatched. Like this is like, we've been knowing each other for an hour, but it feels like we've been knowing each other for like years because we cracking jokes. We just having a good time. And I'm not gonna lie, he had me feeling some type of way, like, bada boot up. Like I felt like we was boot up, but he lived out of town, and I'm thinking like, oh, for sure we're gonna have a connection because of the way he, we was vibing. Next day, crickets. Ain't heard from this man since. So I said that to say, take everything with a grain of salt, enjoy the moment. But lastly, do not attach how much you get approached or how much you don't get approached to your self-worth and to your confidence. Please don't do that. Because you just never know people's headspace. Because you can get you can get approached a lot and it go nowhere. And you be out here like, dang, was it me? Was it something I did? Was it whatever? Or you can get approached not at all, but you're just still ended up in the same space. Because if like two girls could be at a party, one can get approached by 5 guys, go out on a date with 5 of those guys, and they don't even call her back for a second date. And then the same girl could be at a party and get approached by nothing, but they still end up at the same like end with like no prospects. And this sounds I don't want y'all to be sad about this. I'm just trying to make a point. What I'm saying is, neither girl should feel bad about herself, because you never know people's intent. You never know what people got going on. You just never know. You should still feel confident and beautiful and still show up as wonderful and just knowing you that person. And it's hard to detach your worth and your value from how much you get approached, especially if you're a single woman, you're really waiting on your love, you're really wanting a relationship. But you really have to not do that, because it'll just put you in a bad headspace. And I just don't want that for you. I do not want that for you. I want you to always be confident and feel confident, because last year there were moments where I went out and I had moments where the finest dude that I wanted approached me. We went out, we hung out, and nothing happened. Then I went out and there were moments where I got dissed. I want to talk about this moment because this was funny to me. So last year I went out with my homegirl. We went to see Know For Sure podcast, B. Simone and Megan. I'm still mad that they like not friends no more. That makes me sad, but hopefully God is a redeemer and he'll put them back together. But anyway, afterwards, we ended up going to this spot. I got the spot from the guy Vibes ATL. Well, he lied to me, because that spot was the ghettoest, raunchiest, disgustingest spot. Like, it just blew my mind how awful it was. So we walk in the spot. We go to the bar. I just need some food because it's like midnight at this time. We haven't eaten. I'm hungry. I'm going to get it to go, whatever. So I'm standing there. My homegirl got an attitude because it's ghetto. We not expecting it to be this ghetto, whatever. So we standing there, and a dude tries to talk to her, and he's offering her a drink, and she's like, no, I'm good. Ain't nobody trying to talk to me. I just get into it with this girl. That's a whole nother story for another day. I don't have time to be talking about that. But we sitting there, and then because I'm bored, my homegirl got an attitude. She not talking to me. I'm just turning around, looking around, trying to see if I could just start a conversation with somebody. Disclaimer, I'm not interested in nobody in there. This is a very like, ain't nobody in there I want. So I turn around, I see this guy. He has this Biggie jacket on, and it's really dope. And so I literally tap him on the shoulder. I was like, hey, I really like your jacket. It's dope. He looks me up and down and kind of like rolls his eyes. He was like, thanks, and like turns around. And I just started cracking up because I was like, wow, he really thought he just ate. He really thought he just rejected me. I never wanted you in the first place, but that is like hilarious. But I was thinking, like, if I was the type of woman who attached men's attention and who attached my worth to how many people want me, then in that moment, I would have felt some type of way. I would have went home, you know, feeling bad, like, oh, he rejected me. I did not care. It was hilarious to me. Like, what? Sir, you, okay, I don't know. I don't like when people are unkind. That really bothered me more because it's like, wow, you're really unkind, but okay. So I just say that to say, like, never attach your worth to that kind of stuff at all. Like, do not. Because I guarantee you, the more you go into environments and social events and you are spunky, you're confident, you're carefree, you're not worried about who approaches you, who's attracted to you, nothing like that, people are going to talk to you. People talk to me all the time when I'm out. And it don't always be because they're attracted to me. They're just because I'm coming off as like nice, they approach that. And you never know. It could be a connection. You just never know. So just always go outside and be spunky, be charismatic, and be, you know, social. So yeah, no, I'm not getting back on dating apps. I've been asking God, like, God, do you want me to get back on dating apps? Because I've been seeing some like good tactics. Just because I know before when I was on dating apps, I wasn't very intentional about my bio and stuff like that. And so it's some women who I've heard in different podcasts who was very intentional in their bio. So they kind of were able to avoid a lot of nonsense. And I'm like, oh God, well, maybe I couldn't like do this. And he still has told me, you know, sit down somewhere. So I'm sitting down somewhere, but I do know that you can still date people outside of dating apps. Like, you don't need dating apps to meet people. If you are feeling like me and feeling like dating apps are a waste of time, then get off. Get off. I've been off for a year and I'm fine. And again, I went on more dates last year than I had in years. So yeah, but hopefully this encourages some peoples. This ignited some peoples. And if you enjoyed this, like, comment, share, subscribe if you have not subscribed. And until next time, bye.